Hi there, I'm Kathryn from McIver's Grant Public Library in Dyersburg, Tennessee. Although we were closed, of course, for a short while due to the governor's stay-at-home order, we kept on receiving all sorts of fantastic titles, especially for our younger readers, and we want to make sure you don't miss out on any of those. So I have a few here today to talk about, and the first one I'd like to point your attention to is A Light in the Attic. This is a collection of poems and illustrations by Shel Silverstein. If you're not familiar with this author, especially with his absolutely gorgeous book, The Giving Tree, I highly recommend it. It's a beautifully moving, loving story between two unexpected characters. Once you read it, it will stay with you forever. But he also has a wonderfully irreverent sense of humor that's made obvious in many of these poems. This one is my favorite. It's called The Lost Cat. We can't find the cat. We don't know where she's at. Well, where does she go? Does anyone know? Let's ask this walking hat. And of course, you see the tail of the cat coming out behind the hat right there. So a lot of fun to be had in there. And you might have seen in the title that it actually includes 12 new pieces by him. The next one, by Alice Schertle and Jill Montgomery, is Goodnight, Little Blue Truck. This is one of those very lovely, gentle stories where the plot and action build and build as characters come into the scene. And I really picture this functioning very well as a bedtime story because near the end, the characters start to say goodnight to each other. And so it finishes in a very calm, soothing way. This will be a wonderful way to end the day with your young reader. Next, the story by Brian Calhoun and illustrations by Pat Bradley and Brian Calhoun is Little Joe Chickapig. So this story is awesome. Wonderful, very gentle and kind. It starts off with a very handy-dandy definition of what exactly a chickapig is. And this particular chickapig is feeling a bit nervous about going off and following his dreams. And so he is told a series of stories that wind up being very circular about other fantastic characters like him who were also nervous, but once they took those first few steps, wound up with all sorts of incredible adventures. Now, this one, The Girl with a Mind for Math, this follows the story of Ray Montague. This is written by Julia Mosca. The illustrations by Daniel Riley are lovely, very bold and colorful. And they have a straightforward sort of quality to them, which really matches the writing as well. Ray Montague was the first person in the world to create a ship using purely computer programming that was also designed by her in 1971. Now, being a woman of color, when that ship launched in 1978, she was not invited to that ceremony. She later on became the first female program manager at the U.S. Navy. And especially if your reader is a young girl of color or is struggling to understand race issues, this is a fantastic example of how literature and books can really help fill that gap and help adults begin those difficult conversations. And what a wonderful way to start a conversation like that, with an example of a woman whose life achievements made such a difference in America. So again, that was The Girl with a Mind for Math. And then the last one, a bit of fun, this is Mad Scientist Academy, the series, this particular title, Ocean Disaster, written by Matthew McElliott. At first, it might strike you as a graphic novel, and your young reader might think so as well, especially you open up those first few pages and you see some characters that look like they might not be quite human, maybe some monsters and aliens and whatnot. They are about to embark on an ocean adventure, so you think they're going to have a lot of fun, and of course they do, but they wind up going on that adventure with an oceanographer who ends up educating them about some of the ocean life that they will see there. So it's a wonderful blend of fantasy and fact. It reminds me very much of Magic School Bus series, if you're familiar with that. If you're not, and you enjoy this title, that would be a wonderful series as well to check out. So As always, these titles are available. You can take a look at our catalog and hold them if you want. You can access them by driving up and using our curbside service, or of course coming to the front desk. And like always, we hope to see you soon. Thank you.